Good morning, everyone. Today is March 12th, and this is MightyStream with the H.O.O.D Recovery Services, Hope Offered on Demand. So today I wanted to just try something different. I'm not really like a big fan of videotaping myself or anything like that. I thought maybe just by having the backdrop and doing the reading for Just for Today meditation would be enough, right? So I really struggled with a lot of technical difficulty, and it was really bothering me. As with anything, when you start something, you kind of think it's going to go a certain way, and you find out, you run into these little pebbles along the way, right? I learned that from the reading yesterday, right? We run into pebbles, lightening the load, and these little pebbles sometimes make us resentful on what we're trying to accomplish. And sometimes all we need to do is just put things in perspective. So the Just for Today reading from the 11th, Lightening the Load, really benefited me because I really couldn't think of a reason why I didn't want to just be visual, doing the podcast. I thought maybe, I compare myself to like Joe Rogan and all these other people that have these humongous podcasts. And I thought to myself, no, that's not really what you're trying to do. It'd be wonderful if that happened, but that's not really what you're trying to do. So why stretch yourself that far, right? Meaning, having to wake up and get myself presentable for the camera when I'm really just in my meditation time and I'm not trying to interact, right, on a deep level. So I just kind of reasoned it out, thought it through, and decided to go ahead and go with this. So I am excited about the Just for Today meditation for today. Let me tell you why. Because I have not read it. I haven't read it. Typically, I see it in and out of the meetings and stuff like that, but none of the meetings that I made were doing the Just for Today meditation as their topic. So I haven't read it. I'm going to be hitting this fresh with you, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this to see what is new for us today. All right, there we go. Let's talk about it. March 12th. The title is Getting Out of the Rut. Oh, that's going to be good. Many times in our recovery, the old bugaboos will haunt us. Life may again become meaningless, monotonous, and boring. I can relate to that. Basic text, page 78. Sometimes it seems as though nothing changes. We get up and go to the same job every day. We eat dinner at the same time every day. We attend the same meetings each week. This morning's rituals were identical to the ones we performed yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. After the hell of our addiction and the roller coaster craziness of early recovery, the stable life may have some appeal for a while, but eventually we realize we want something more. Sooner or later, we become turned off to the creeping monotony and boredom in our lives. There are sure to be times when we feel vaguely dissatisfied with our recovery. We feel as though we're missing something for some reason, but we don't know what or why. We draw up our gratitude list and find literally hundreds of things to be grateful for. All of our needs are being met. Our lives are fuller than we had ever hoped they'd be. So what's up? Maybe it's time to stretch our potential to its fullest. Our possibilities are only limited by what we can dream. We can learn something new, set a new goal, help another newcomer, or make a new friend. We're sure to find something challenging if we look hard enough, and life will become meaningful, varied, and fulfilling. Just for today, I'll take a break from the routine and stretch my potential to its fullest. Wow. I had no idea that this was the reading for today. This is super good. this is super good. Getting out of the rut. Many times in our recovery, the old bugaboos will haunt us. Life may again become meaningless, monotonous, and boring. Now, I'm kind of interested in how the old bugaboos will haunt us, right? And then they kind of bring in the definition of the haunting by saying life may again become meaningless, monotonous, and boring. I want to focus on that this morning. I want to focus on that. What do you do when you've been in recovery and these old bugaboos haunt you? The bugaboos are life becoming meaningless, monotonous, and boring. See, I thought the old bugaboos would be child abuse, sexual abuse, the struggle of being homeless, or some of our behaviors that we acted out on, and dealing with the shame and guilt of those, right? So I kind of assumed that the old bugaboos that haunt us would be those things. But no, here is talking about life again becoming meaningless, monotonous, and boring. And I am in my mind picturing how many times I went and hung out with people that I barely even knew till the wee hours of the morning. And sometimes I went home with people that I didn't even know, only to wake up and try to figure out what actually had just happened. Right? Why did I pursue those things? Besides, I like to party and like to dance. Why did I pursue those things? For me, if I look at this in the meaning of the old bugaboos, the reason I did those things is because I was bored with my everyday life. I had a job, I worked a job, I showed up at the job. I may not have showed up on time, but I showed up at the job, right? And I had this routine. But after work, and especially after work on Friday, it was party, and party, and party until I had to report to work on Monday morning. A lot of times I didn't even roll into town from some out of town excursion that I was on until 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning on Monday, right? So the whole weekend was nothing about partying. Why did I do those things? I actually did do those things because I felt that my life was meaningless. I was sick of the monotony of the week. I probably had gotten into it with my boss or had one more demand put on me because one more stipulation, one more regulation because of all the other rules I was breaking. And they were always threatening to get rid of me unless I conformed, right? Not really wanting to say, it's clear to us, you have a drinking problem, right? You have a problem using, and it's clear to us, right? They didn't want to say that, but they would send me all the time to the employee assistant programs to get myself figured out. And I was bored. Those were the reasons that I used. Those were some of the reasons that I used. And so here, what we're being challenged to do is, when we become dissatisfied with our recovery and we feel like we're missing something out, and we've done all the gratitude lists, we've done all the suggestions our sponsor has given us, like, what is it that I need to do now? Well, based off of what I'm reading here, it is suggesting that it's time for us to stretch ourselves to our fullest potential. There's like literally people that come into recovery, and I'm not bashing anyone that comes into recovery and stay clean, but they come into recovery and that's all they do. They stay clean. Like, you don't see a digital footprint in the world anywhere from them, because they wake up, they clean, they go to work, they do their time. A lot of times they do overtime, right? The largest accomplishment that you might actually see them do with becoming a productive member of society is they have a vehicle and they have some place that they rent to call their own. Now, there's a few of us that say, I'm going to go beyond just renting, and I'm going to own a home, and I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor of working, right? My home is all decked out. Okay, your home is all decked out and you have a vehicle and you're working a job. Is there anything else? Oh, I get my grandkids. Okay. After you get your grandkids and you enjoy them, is there anything else? Like, is there anything else? Like, for me, what was I created to do? What was the purpose in why I was brought into the world. Let me stop the share and get back to the screen. What is the purpose that I was brought into the world for? Do I even know? Or am I just kind of kumaye, kumasa, right? Just going through life, whatever, right? Going through life and accepting whatever comes to me and not realizing that now that I'm clean and I have a sober mind. When I say a sober mind, I'm talking about a sober mind. I'm not talking about not drunk mind. I'm talking about a sober mind. I have a mind that is sound, right? Yeah, some people get hung up on that word sober. I'm talking about a sound mind, a sober mind. And I can understand and I can perceive and I can make decisions and I can see and I can read, and my emotional intelligence has gone up by loads and jumps, because now I can actually participate in what is going on in my life, and I don't have to sit back and let life happen to me. I would be doggone if I'm going to let another human being dictate the pattern or the road that my life takes. Do you know how long it took for me to get clean? Really, seriously. Like, do you know how long it took for me to get clean? Why would I ever let another human being dictate to me outside of my higher power? Right? Because in the third step, I turn my will and my life over to the care of a higher power as I understand it, right? So why would I let another human being dictate any of that? And I refuse to believe that this little glitch in life of using, chasing the next one, I don't believe, I think that was a detour. I don't believe I was born into the world to be an addict. I do believe it was a detour, and I do believe that experience of getting clean and staying clean no matter what is something that my higher power, my God, can use for his benefit, right? He can use it for the worship of him, and however I choose to allow myself to be used. Sometimes I don't want to take the next step. I don't want to stretch myself, and that's fine. But am I going to consistently for the rest of my life be in a position of a plateau where I am not allowing myself to be stretched? See, because I think that my disease of addiction was serious enough for me. I had somebody they said, I don't think you ever were dirty. And I was like, "Mm?" Like, you don't know me very well. You don't think I ever was dirty? Like, my being clean is not enough because I didn't have tracks on my iron? Honey child, please. My using days was enough to run me into the rooms. And I have a seat, just like the next person. The difference between me and some is that I've kept my seat, even with the hostility and the differences of personalities, all of that in the rooms. I have kept my seat because I know how hard it was for me to surrender to the fact that I'm an addict. And once I got it and I saw the benefits with just 24 hours clean, I was like, if I can do it for 24 hours, I can do it for 24 days. If I can do it for 24 days, I can do it for 24 weeks. If I can do it for 24 weeks, I can do it for 24 months. Matter of fact, if I can do it for 24 months, why can't I do it for 24 years? Right? If I can do it for 24 years, why can't I do it for a lifetime? But check this out. At some point in time, in that 15 to 20-year mark, I saw that God was doing things with me. He was opening doors for me. And I also saw that wherever I went, the discussion about recovery was not like an open discussion. When I was in Kenya, right? This is before the first convention in Kenya, right? This is before that. When I was in Kenya, you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that would have a discussion with you about the disease of addiction. When I was over there and living there for all those years, I had to begin an effort to translate the basic text into Swahili. And that's because in the community I was in, the bush, the principal that I was in, it was just not a discussion, but you could see that people were struggling with the disease of addiction all the time. And some of the people that assisted me with that effort fell off because they said they were receiving pressure from outsiders and they were fearful for their life to do the work that needed to be done so that others could be free. So where I'm at in my recovery, I kind of took that with me wherever I went. And I was amazed at the taboo, how taboo the disease of addiction actually was. Clearly, Nairobi has bars, clearly. But in some of the outskirts areas, you could not be a known drunk. Like nobody was dealing with you. It was not a discussion that people wanted to have about what you needed to do. And I know a man, right? I know a man that sent me pictures, and he is one of the founding individuals of Narcotics Anonymous in the Kenyan area. He sent me pictures and said, I need to get this homeless man. He used a different word, right? But I need to get him some help. Can you see him? And I looked at that man laying on the ground and I was like, what do we need to do to get him into recovery? And when he told me the amount, I was like, that's like nothing. That's like a pizza a couple times a week. Let's do it. I don't never hear from him no more, but if he ever watches this, I remember you when you started. I remember the passion that you had when you started, and I had already left. I had already left Kenya, and I had already put my mark on Kenya for recovery. You were a prayer. You were a prayer between me and the Northside group when I was sitting up at the time that they would be doing a meeting, which was 7 p.m. every night, Monday through Sunday. I was sitting up at 10 a.m. I was sitting up 6 hours ahead of time with them, taking a moment of silence and doing all the readings by myself. And I think I had like 15. Matter of fact, I remember purchasing my yearly medallion so that when I got over to Kenya, I would be able to give myself my clean time. Do you really think that MightyStream is going to come into this fellowship and let it go because a few people don't care for her? I am not going to do it, and I am going to continue to stretch myself. I'm going to stretch myself because while everybody else is trying to figure out, can they get into a room with or without a mask, there are people all over this world that are suffering. People in Ukraine are suffering. There are Russians here in this country that are suffering. There are people from Pakistan, from the Middle East that are in this country that they just want a taste of recovery. But because we have gotten this, I'm in it and I've made it, I don't have to do anything else attitude, it's not enough. For MightyStream, it's not enough. And I need you to know that this reading today, you need to stretch yourself. You need to figure out, okay, you're bored. You're tired of the same old. You're tired of beefing with the same people in the same meetings. Okay, do you know that area probably needs some new blood? Area probably, I don't even think about doing anything on the area level because every time I go to area, the only thing that comes to my mind is the differences. Have I served that area? Absolutely. And all the time that I served with area at that time in our fellowship, it seemed like it was about the Blacks versus the whites. And I don't have energy for that. My stepdaddy is white. He raised me. My husband is white. The majority of my cousins are of multiracial background. Their father is Black and their moms are white. And I have all these family connections that are of biracial background. Why would I let anyone dictate to me my value based on the color of my skin? And so when I got fed up doing area, I got fed up. I was like, y'all make the decision. Y'all bring the decision from the group back to area and you guys make a collective decision. I can understand how that works, but I'm not coming here to feel like I have to take up some civil right movement every time I come. No, I need some peace in my life, and I have that in my life. But area needs help. Area needs you. You've been coming around enjoying the meetings, sitting around taking in. It's time for you to stretch yourself. It's time for you to give back. Like, this world is bigger than just you and your clean time. And surely if you've done a second and third step, you understand that we need to be in the mode of our higher powers giving and loving care. And I refuse to believe that anybody has a higher power that's going to say, I'm going to give it to you freely so that you can keep it for yourself. Let me take a drink of coffee. Hey, look, I didn't expect all that emotion. I did not expect all that emotion reading this just for today. But I am so thankful that through the reading of this just for the day, through this initiative of H.O.O.D Recovery Services, Hope Offered on Demand, through this, that I was able to reflect very well on where I was over 10 years ago, right? I was able to reflect on where I was when I got my clean time for 15 years. I don't know if you can see it, but my 15-year medallion is hanging on my wall. Yeah, it's hanging on my wall because I need to remember that when I didn't have anybody else, I had all of you guys from the North Side group, all of you guys from Southwest Michigan area of Narcotics Anonymous in my spirit. I remember when the Safe House, the home group of the North Side group met in the Safe House, which was directly across from on the street, Roberson, across from Mount Zion. I remember making my first meetings in that house. And I remember the fears that I had. And I remember that I had 2 family members that were a part of that home group. And I remember watching them do it. And I believed that I could do it, and they believed that I could do it. So when I talk about stretching myself, today I'm stretching myself. Today I am stretching myself. And I do it because I don't believe that all these years and all of the things that I have passed through in the rooms of recovery were for naught. I just refuse to believe that. Listen, my background is a little bit crazy. If you can see that, that's recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. If you want to have a discussion with me, reach out to me so we can organize it. recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. And that's what this is. This is a recovery of hope. I was listening to a video done by Pastor Addis Moore. And I think he was with his son in the boardroom. And their discussion was about the hopelessness in our community. People are hopeless. The community that you need to bring hope to is around you. It's either within 100 feet of your presence within your own home. It's in your neighborhood, on your block. You and I both have to figure out our sphere of influence. And when you know what that area is, then you go back and prepare all of the goodness that you have received and you make it where it is palatable to those individuals that you are assigned to. You may truly be assigned to take nations like myself, right? But if you can't handle your community, if you can't handle where you are right now, tell me again how you're going to handle out there. When I got over to India, I got to India before I got to Kenya. When I went to India, I was not prepared for the work that was going to be done within my spirit about my childhood. I was surrounded with 150 young people, babies, toddlers, elementary age children, some of them middle school age. I was surrounded by children that had been cast off. And my spirit just, that anger, that frustration, those resentments, they just burned straight away. They went down to nothing. My higher power, God, he emptied out the junk and he let a flooding of the beauty of other people come into me. And I was able to love and to care. Matter of fact, those children were so attached to me that some of the people that were higher up had a problem with how attached they were. And I understood that I wasn't going to be in their life forever. And I needed to make it clear and let them understand I'm here but for a moment. Don't get so attached to me that when I go, you fail to do what we talked about. And so that's what I want to tell you. H.O.O.D Recovery Services, Hope Offered on Demand. I believe that there will be other people that are going to eventually join me in this initiative. And then I will be in a position of being able to plant this in other areas in our immediate Michigan area. Indiana is on my mind, Illinois and Iowa, and possibly even Ohio. I'll be back to you. Enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you will see another face here doing the exact same thing, right? My name is MightyStream, and I am here today with H.O.O.D Recovery Services discussing the Just for Today from March 12th from Narcotics Anonymous, talking about stretching yourselves, talking about how can you bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to get to the right screen. How can you get out of the rut that you're in? Just for today, I will break from the routine and stretch my potential to its fullest. I want you to think, I challenge you today to be thinking about what your potential actually is, right? They told me when I got here, lost dreams awaken and new possibilities arise. I have always been interested in videos and stuff like that. I've always been interested in that. I've always made videos, right? I've always been in that. I've always admired people like Oprah Winfrey and these television personalities that would sit with people and pull them out in it. And so I want to do some of that. I want to get some people that will be willing to let me interview them and talk about their process of recovery one-on-one. We don't have to have fanfare. I'm talking about one-on-one, and let me share that with our community in Kalamazoo County. You know, I love you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday. I'm excited about my Saturday. Let me tell you why. I get to actually fold laundry, right? I'm always washing, but to fold, I actually get to fold and put clothes away. I get to make some donations, and I get to take some things from my basement to my storage unit so that I can have a home gym that is not cluttered with clothes hanging all around or boxes. I'm excited about putting my life in order. And it's not a stretch. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. The things that I really struggle with is doing all of my studying and reading for my courses, trying to get this double major, right? That's what I really struggle with, right? But taking care of my family is something I look forward to doing and I enjoy. My name is MightyStream. I am so excited about what is in front of you and what is in front of me. Today, I challenge you to stretch yourself. Make a list of the things that may have been on your bucket list from a long time ago, right? Something you wanted to do, some impact that you wanted to do. What is that? And then hit me up on this Gmail, recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Hit me up on that Gmail and said question about stretching myself in the memo, right? Subject memo, questions about stretching myself. Or you can write March 12th reading, right? And let's have a dialogue about where you think you're headed, where you think you need to go. And I will bring my MightyStream mind on God, right, to the setting. And I will give any input that I feel is applicable. If it's not, I won't. But at least open up the discussion. And I need you to do that. I can't do it. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I need you to open up and have a discussion with me so that you can do the things that you're supposed to do. I want you, as Pastor Bill Mitchell so profoundly taught us, I want you to figure out what your soccer ball is. What is your soccer ball? What is that thing that you have the grace to do and do well? That affects other people, not just yourself, but affects other people, makes other people want to get up and get moving. After I did my first taping, I want to say around the 7th or the 8th of this, a lady that I've known for years reached out to me and said, I want to do my steps. I would have done them with her, whether I was sponsoring her or not, if she wanted to do her steps. She is serious. Yeah. What is it that you do that makes other people want to get moving, get in the game? What is that? What is your soccer ball? Hit me up at that Gmail. And I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to be able to talk with you. I have a very busy schedule, but this is something that I do and will make time for. Take care, and it's been good talking to you. Bye now.